Back in 2024, I discovered TWICE and fell deep down the rabbit hole of learning about them and their music. At the end of my video, in which I documented my journey of discovery, I said that I might expand on my K-pop horizons a little bit further, subtly nodding at how I had already started listening to a bit of DAY6's music. Having downloaded the rhythm game Superstar JYP Nation, I had found more songs to enjoy from more JYP artists. I regularly started listening to songs like Headache from DAY6 and Heartris from NiziU. Little did I know at the time how much I would listen to these two groups throughout the year. TWICE would continue to dominate my playlist, in part due to the fact that they are relentlessly releasing new music all the time. But DAY6 released my type of music, and NiziU, spoiler alert, released my song of the year. Luckily for them, I only started getting into mix pop quite late in the year because NMIXX laid some serious challenges for that top spot. So what I'm going to do this year is list my 5 favorite songs from these 4 groups, released before 2025, and then my top 5 from 2025, and give a whole bunch of honourable mentions. This category is mainly for me to highlight my favorite songs from these groups that were released before 2025 that I only really started listening to during the year. Which means in the case of TWICE, I'm excluding all the songs I mentioned last time around. As such, songs like Knock Knock and Peach Soda aren't eligible. Don't expect this category to be exhaustive at all. NiziU are going to be quite prevalent in this video, so we might as well start with them. This 9-member girl group from Japan did the opening theme for Season 2 of the Tower of God series. Visually and lyrically, the song is all about rising up out of the darkness and hopelessness. And it probably helps that Riku's voice is powerful enough to break through any glass ceiling in the way. Much like their older sister group, TWICE, NiziU are 9 tiny little generators of pure joy. Memories perfectly encapsulate that vibe. Songs like this can stray into the melancholic side of nostalgia very quickly, but this one is so packed with energy and positivity that every listen is remembered with pure happiness. Shortly after releasing my Discovering TWICE video, I started listening to Push and Pull a lot, and thought, damn, I should have included this. The combination of Sana, Jihyo, and Dahyun's vocals is heavenly. It's so playful. And for a group with an incredible catalogue of top-tier B-sides, Push and Pull stands tall as one of their best. Talking about amazing TWICE B-sides, let's go all the way back to when their story began. From their very first album, Going Crazy has ended up becoming one of my absolute favorite TWICE songs. I've been listening to it all year. Well, I suppose I do have 10 years of not listening to it to catch up on. I like rock music. It's only been the past few years in which I've become obsessed with K-pop and J-pop from 9-member girl groups. No Sun and No Life, need I say more. But when I first heard Headache from DAY6, it was like finding a long-lost love that I'd never had before. And then I heard the actual title track of the album, Remember Us, Youth Part 2. I've almost memorized the lyrics for days gone by, even though my Korean sucks. The song just rules, and I have to think that surely it must just be universally enjoyable, right? To quote myself after the first few times I listened to it, this song is heaven.
When you say fine.
Fine is so fine. Seriously though, it's a song with an important message. Saying the word fine can be used in many cases to dismiss saying how you really feel. But Twice want to let you know that it's perfectly fine to let it out. In keeping with the theme of the title track, Enemy, sometimes it's about accepting your heart and not pretending to be fine when you're not. Another song featuring lyrics telling you to embrace your heart. I relate to the message of DAY6 songs quite a bit, but the lyrics of Maybe Tomorrow weigh quite heavily. I find this one from Young K to be especially resonant. Where's the path I'm supposed to take in this blurry world? I don't know. It's a song about the search for meaning and purpose in one's life, hoping that it might become apparent someday. Maybe, hopefully, that day is tomorrow. As any comments section will tell you, DAY6 don't make bad songs. Maybe Tomorrow is a particularly beautiful one, and the string arrangement is such a perfect accompaniment to their usual sound.
Avocado toast.
My family is going to find it especially funny that a song called Avocado is in my top 3 for the year. I am not a fan, and now thanks to this music video I can avoid them out of fear of being swallowed by a pip. The first track on Lil Fantasy Volume 1, Avocado, was our introduction to the distinct sound of Chaeyoung's debut solo album. An album that would have been my album of the year had Blue Valentine not arrived. Lil Fantasy is so refreshingly different from the rest of Twice's discography, and so very Che. Avocado epitomizes that. It's a piece of art, written and composed by an artist who was let off the reins and allowed to express her creativity. The dreamy sound, the abstract visual design, Che's vocal tone, it's the representation of her dream. One that we are very fortunate to have seen a glimpse of. I want to go on a bit of a tangent here because Chaeyoung is my artist of the year. Alongside Twice's 3 albums, she released her own one, which, as I said, I love. She also featured with Jonghyun and Jihyo on Takedown for K-pop Demon Hunters, and she's featured on Wake Up with Sokodamo. And then there's her solo on the Story Goes On album, In My Room, which is one of my favourites on the album. Chaeyoung hasn't been able to join the rest of TWICE on their world tour for the past few months because of a vasovagal syncope diagnosis. I truly hope that this break has served her well, and that her health improves to a point where she can continue sharing her art with the world very soon. She was immense in 2025, and she's going to come back stronger than ever. Personally, I can't wait to see it. I was excited to watch JYP feature on Game Caterers, mostly to see TWICE, DAY6 and NiziU interacting with each other, but also for the opportunity to learn about members from other groups. This was when Haewon caught my attention. Naturally funny and captivating, much like the rest of the comedy troupe disguised as a highly talented music group known as NMIXX. They had my attention. Good timing too, since their album Blue Valentine had just come out. Long story short, it's my album of the year. It's top tier. But the song I want to talk about isn't from that album. It's from the album they released before it. Know About Me was released in March 2025. If I had started listening to it then, it probably would have ended up being my song of the year. I am addicted to this thing. The dynamics of the song are so enjoyable. How it builds up through the verses and pre-choruses, teasing a chorus of high notes that never come. Instead, the ladder gets pulled out from under us with a brilliant drop that takes us into a measured and controlled chorus.
Let me show you that.
This is a song where, in the MV, they fly a rocket ship into space. That's the type of thing that typically comes with an epic orchestral accompaniment, but instead, the power is in how low-key it is. The fact that the chorus never bubbles over. What we see is Haewon in control. NMIXX wants you to calmly take their hand and trust that they know how to pilot this ship, that they know where they're going. Mixed pop might sound random or chaotic, but when it's refined and allowed to reach its full potential, we get songs like Know About Me and their crown jewel, Blue Valentine. Know About Me is so intelligently constructed and brilliantly executed. What a song.
Know about me. For all my ladies who don't get hyped, you know, if you've been done wrong, then this your song, so turn it up. Do you ever really wonder where you lost on Mars? 누군가 비웃겠지만 inside out, 도저히 숨기지 못해 upside down. Bring your enemy, no matter how hard I go through it. 어린이 신나요니 so do it criminal한 탑시다 이너 아마 이미 나이 아기야 나이 때문에 it's a story someone else is your girl. I can be whoever I want to in my room just me and you. You always be my Valentine. Ain't no way we can lose. Always me plus you. 나도 내가 이상해. 너 때문에 복잡해.
Musically, there is so much cool stuff going on in Loveline, and all that cool stuff has been arranged in such a way that makes the song just constantly interesting to listen to. I'm not a music expert, but I'll try to explain my thoughts in some form of understandable way. I love the use of rests in the instrumental. Rhythmically, it features these moments where you're left hanging, waiting for the next beat, but it just holds it for an instant. So as a listener, you kind of just float while you wait for the percussion to pick you up again. I first fell in love with the song for the way it does this right at the start of the chorus. So it's interesting rhythmically, but there's also a lot going on tonally. You can't just point out one key change in the song because there are times when it just treats keys like individual notes in a scale. It was so funny watching classically trained musicians spend 5 minutes trying to figure out what composition insanity was behind the transition from the pre-chorus to the chorus. Shout out to reacttothek, you guys are fantastic. And if none of that explains why it's my song of the year, here's Marco singing the second chorus. Those are some of my favorite songs of 2025. I know that focusing on 4 groups is a bit narrow, missing out on Western artists like Ray, for example. But the last time I did a music-centric video, I only focused on 1 group, so I suppose this is growth? Anyway, I just got Dive for Christmas, so...